everybody. Public hearing. My name is Joe Coleman, Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. To my right is Chip Keller, Commissioner. To my left is Wolfgang Ben Schoening, and Don Preventure, Commissioner. And to his left on the end is Keith from Underwood Engineering, Keith Pratt. And Ron Miner from Superintendent, and Michelle, the Financial Wizard. And we'll start the public hearing. I declare the public hearing relative to the Merrimack Village District issuance of municipal bonds proposed by petition warrant articles for 2019-2020 open for comments. The notice of this public hearing was advertised in the National Telegraph and appeared in the February 25th, 2019 edition. This public hearing notice was also posted on the Merrimack Village District website, the Merrimack Village District office, the Merrimack Town Hall, Public Library, and Post Office on February 22nd, 2019. The purpose of this hearing is to allow comments from the public in relation to the proposed warrant article requiring municipal bonds or notes. The Board of Commissioners will not comment during this time. Prior to public comment, the Board will receive information on these articles for the Merrimack Village District. During and after this presentation, the public may ask questions or request clarification of presentations. When all comments have been received relative to the presentations, I will open the floor to questions and comments for Article Number 2. After the comment period, I will close the hearing for Article 2, and the Board will vote on their recommendations for the article. I will then open the floor to questions and comments for Article 3. After the comment period, I will close the hearing. For Article 3, and the Board will vote their recommendations for this article. The Board of Commissioners will now ask Petitioner Rosemary Rung to provide an overview and explanation of the proposed petition articles. Rosemary, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. For the record, my name is Rosemary Rung. I'm at 21 Ministerial Drive in Merrimack. I led a petition drive for Article 2, which is a bond article to raise and fund $3.6 million for the primary purpose of designing and constructing a water treatment system for MVD wells 7 and 8 to reduce per and polyfluoroalkyl substances known as PFAS. If this sum is raised by the issuance of bonds and in compliance with the provisions of the Municipal Finance Act, and to authorize the Board of Commissioners to issue and negotiate such bonds or notes as shall be in the best interest of the MVD. Additionally, with this article, there will be a floor amendment at the annual meeting to put in the most accurate number available for the interest that would have to be added to the 2019-2020 budget. As far as the particulars of the article go, as we all know, there is PFAS present in the MVD water. And even though it is lower than the EPA's health advisory of 7 parts per trillion, there's overwhelming evidence that that is not a low enough number. And the petitioners and I feel that it's incumbent to filter that water to get it as pure as we can. And so this Article 2 would require the design and construction of a activated charcoal filter, granular activated charcoal filter that would remove PFAS, and it could also potentially remove other organic contaminants in the water. We feel that the need to filter this water needs to happen as soon as possible, and that's why this warrant article is coming forward now rather than waiting for any action on the part of the state regarding their MCL development. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Yeah, and I did, just as an aside, I did present slides at the February 25th public hearing, and so I would refer people that want more detailed information regarding this article to go to those slides.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions from the public? Seeing none. Board of Commissioners will now ask Keith Pratt of Underwood Engineers to present the evaluation and PFAS treatment and rate study. to explain it rather than show the whole thing. Very brief.
Joe?
Do you want, I was a little confused. Were you going to close the public hearing on Article 2 and then open it for Article 3?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
we can vote on them individually.
Okay.
Okay, so is this just on Article 2,
Yes.
not 2 and 3? Okay. I'm going to use my slide. I'm not going to use the slides, but I'm going to use those for a reference from you a little bit. Okay, just as a brief summary of what we had done for the board and for the district was as part of finding out what it would take to treat wells 7 and 8 and 2 and 3. There was an engineering report that was completed in December, and 3.6 million is the basis of the proposed treatment plant for as an add-on to the facility at the newly constructed iron and manganese treatment plant at 7 and 8, and that's going to be treating about 1,250 gallons a minute. And so, and also we had looked at other options, but granular activated carbon was the one that we landed on, just due for costs reasons primarily. The basis of the plant was to treat PFAS to a level below detect, knowing that there is some fluctuations, I guess, in the standards or pending changes. But the proposal is to treat below detection limit. There is flexibility in the facility to add additional resin and or other vessels in the facility as limits change or get modified in the future. And I think the last thing I'll say on 7 and 8 is that when 7 and 8 was built several years ago, there was space accommodated for the additional treatment plant. At that time, we weren't sure what it would be, but this site was prepped for added treatment. Okay, so that's a brief summary on 7 and 8. I also understand the slideshow that we did previously is on the website, which does provide more detail. You want me to go through the rates later or now, or?
I don't think we have to go through the rates.
Okay, I can always come back to those if you'd like.
Any questions on this presentation? Seeing none. You want him to address it? Would you briefly do the rate study?
Sure.
Who of us do you do that?
Okay. As part of the work, the district had asked us to look at the cost impact as a result of both potential projects if they were passed and to be constructed. So the rate model that was updated just this last fall, December, January timeframe. It was done, there was 3 parts to the rate model. The first part was to look at what rates would be needed to support existing capital needs and operating budget needs at the district, regardless of these articles. And I think we had recommended a 2-step increase just to support existing pending debt for things that have already underway, operations and operational budget increases, to be about 28% in 2 steps. I think if you look at the slides online, you'll see those. The initial recommendation or thought would be about a 13% and a 13% increase year to year. The total is about 28. I think you may see that would change a little bit, possibly whether it be a little higher in the first year and lower in the next year. But overall, the needed rate increase is 28% just to support what's happening with the district without the PFAS treatment. We then looked at what it would be to add PFAS treatment, both from capital costs and the operating costs. And for for the $3.6 million article, that'd be an additional 12% impact, and that covered the debt service, assuming a loan, as well as the operational costs. So with Article 3, or is Article 3? Sorry. 2. Article 2, the 3.6 million, between existing operations and debt, and the add of that will be a total impact of about 43%. So I can touch on the rates on the other article afterwards.
All right, thank you. Still nobody in the audience with questions? I will now open the public hearing for Article 2 for public comment. Anybody else want to make comments? Seeing none, I close the public hearing for Article 2. The board will now vote for their recommendations. All those in favor of Article 2 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those not in favor? No. 2-2. I will now open the public hearing for the Article 3, public comment. Public comment.
Okay, Article 3 is very similar to Article 2, where it's a petition warrant article to provide granulated activated carbon filtration for wells 7 and 8. I'm sorry, for wells 2 and 3 to remove PFAS. This article is obviously it's for $10.9 million, which is significantly higher than Article 2, but that's because well number 3 requires filtration or treatment for iron and manganese. So there's actually going to be that treatment installed, and then subsequent to that, following that, the GAC filter would then filter out the PFAS. It's bonded, likely over 20 years. The interest rate that will be moved by amendment on the floor will be the only change to the article as written. I would again refer interested parties to the slides that were presented at the general public hearing on February 25th. That's it.
Any more public comments?
Jeff Daly from Nashua. Just wanted to find out what was the final analysis of the iron and manganese on wells 2 and 3.
Are you talking about the concentrations of iron and manganese?
Yes, Tom.
I don't have the data. I don't have the data here, but as noted, there is an iron and manganese treatment proposed as part of this warrant article, and it is included in the $10 million. So there is an iron and manganese facility included in this.
If memory serves me correct, I want to say iron. I think I've seen around 1 at the highest. I think. I'm not positive on that. I know that iron filtration is in our capital improvement plan for year 2023 as it stands right now. That could happen or not, but it is in the CIP as we speak.
Well, the samples that Lou took from both wells 2 and 3, the iron virtually came back non-detect. The manganese was higher at around about 23. So you really need to look very carefully. Do you need to remove iron at such a non-detect level?
Yeah, there definitely is iron over the 0.3 limit in most of the samples when the well is in operation, because we do see the monthly water quality reports, and I do remember seeing elevated iron in the past.
Okay, because treating iron is just as expensive as treating manganese. They've got 2 different coatings and chemicals to be put in. And if you don't need to do it, why do it?
Sure, if we didn't need to do it, we certainly would not do it just for for any other reason, but I do know the historic results of that well do have iron and manganese over the secondary standards.
Don, we're talking of 2 and 3, not just 3.
Well 2 doesn't need any iron and manganese treatment, it's just well 3.
Okay.
Are there any more public comments? Seeing none, I close the public hearing for Article 3. Board will now vote their recommendations. All those in favor signify by aye. All those not in favor signify no. This concludes the petition warrant article bond hearing. Thank you all for coming.